Yeah, so thinking back to how I got involved, it's actually Naga Munchetti that got me involved. She randomly rang me up and asked if I wanted to play in a golf day at the Berkshire. It was for the Cure Parkinson's Trust, which I hadn't heard of at the time. So I was happy to go along. Obviously, with my dad having Parkinson's, I was in that phase of trying to find out a little bit more and figure out how, because he was slowly getting worse. And I got to play golf with this amazing man who stumbled a bit. I'll always remember him hitting in from 90 yards, and I've turned around to give him a high five. And I thought he'd been beamed up by the Enterprise. He'd just disappeared. And then, thinking a bear was coming out of a bush, this bush started rattling, and out came Tom celebrating. Apparently his celebration was just doing a double backward roll into a bush. But then I obviously became friends with him and got to meet you and getting involved with the charity. That it's such a good charity. You do amazing work. And what he did in terms of founding it and the community that he's brought together of brilliant brains around the world, I think gives us a chance of beating this disease, I think.
Yes, I mean, CPT has grown exponentially in the last 4 or 5 years. With in 2012 we brought in the Link Clinical Trial Programme, and coming off that we now have trials around the world, with the latest one to be starting in Australia. And the other thing that we're funding is the stem cell work here in Cambridge with Roger Barker, and hopefully something will come from that very quickly.
I think that's the amazing, unique thing, that everyone's working to the same goal across all, and you're sharing information. It's not about, hey, we're the ones who solved the problem. It's about making sure that someone solves the problem.
And that was one of the big things with the Cure Parkinson's Trust, was to try and make things happen faster. It seems to, they talk about 5 years. When Tom was first diagnosed, they'll find something in 5 years. Well, he was 23 years diagnosed when he died, and they still hadn't found anything.
It is something that needs speeding up, because as you know, and as I know through my dad, no 2 cases of Parkinson's are ever the same. So that throws in variables that you have to deal with as well. So if you're then having to wait with time about clinical trials and what drugs you can use, you're talking so many variables that you could take forever.
Exactly, and it was too late for Tom, but we will continue to search, because there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people out there, and Tom was never about finding the cure for him. He was always about the big picture, for getting people involved, for doing it for everybody else together.
And he always said, I don't want this charity to be around forever.
Yeah. We want
the faster we can end this charity, the better. And that's the whole point. And I think, in terms of how far we've come in 10 years, where the next 5 years could do, if they get to do stem cell next year in America, or over here in a couple of years' time, that could literally change everything, not just Parkinson's, but other associated illnesses, mental illnesses as well. So feels like we're on the cusp of something.
It really does.
Just push them over a bit quicker, don't we?
Do it.
We'll get.
We will. We will.